Hello, my name is Tim. I'm sick. It's been a while since I actually did this. My Inktober 2019 kind of sketchbook review. I'm gonna start off with don't love all of them. Now my mother, very generously, my mother is like one of my bestest friends in the entire world, BT dubs. She very generously got me like this little set of Allard's, our local art store back in my hometown. They had like a little Inktober set, and so she got it for me and sent it to me. And that was really fun, and that's kind of what kick-started this, because originally I was kind of on the fence about doing Inktober. Then she sent me that, and I was like, this will be good for me, because I knew it would be good for me, but I didn't want to do it. In that set, there came this little black notebook, and I was like, hey-o, it would be kind of neat to just do my entire Inktober in here. And so I did. My mom sent me this package, but that package didn't actually come in until the 7th of October. We were well into Inktober. So I had a bit catching up to do. And I'd done some in other places, but I wanted to do the entire thing in here. But I have dyslexia and ADHD, and like I'm pretty sure I'm like on the autistic spectrum, and like I got a lot of things. Most of them lead me to be very inclined to do things in a non-traditional sense, in a non-linear fashion. And so what I did is when I got this notebook, I was really excited, because the main problem I'd been having with Inktober thus far is I don't know about the prompt that I'm given on this specific day, especially because the first couple prompts, if you guys did or like looked at Inktober this year already, like some of the first prompts were weird, like ring. I had no idea what to do for husky. Are you kidding me? So what I did is I made a little chart here, and I wrote down all the prompts and numbered them in pencil. And then when I finished a prompt, I would fill it in with my pen and write a number next to it, which was the order that I did them. So if it was the 17th Inktober I had done, I'd write 17 next to it, even if it was like the 30th prompt or whatever. And then I would put a tally mark so I could help keep track of how many I had left. And then I also put asterisks next to the ones I have made scans of. So I was just going to go through and kind of look at a couple of these and talk about them really briefly. So the first one is actually the one I did like 5 minutes ago, and it is for ring. It is of a little sea otter kind of thing, and it's in like a little life preserver. It's pretty cute. It's very simple. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Ring was the last one I did, because that gave me the like biggest like artist block. I had no idea what to do for ring, because I didn't want to just do a ring, and I didn't know what to do. And for some reason, my brain just couldn't think of anything with a ring, so I did it. Now this is one that I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's of, and a nice thing about Inktober is I was able to incorporate a lot of my characters that I've like, created over the past several years. And I was able to kind of, give them a nice little space where they could just sort of exist and have fun. So this is my character, Lenny. This is for the day 2 prompt, which was mindless. He is a robot that works in this old factory, and he's told that he's, mindless and a machine and doesn't have like a brain and can't think or feel. He doesn't need sleep or like food or stuff. And like as the years go by, the factory kind of disintegrates around him except for him. And he's still kind of like chugging along and working at it, but he like starts to like sneak into like offices and stuff where humans once were, and like reads like books, and like he has a stuffed animal bunny that he's not supposed to have. And that is based upon yours truly. He has a stuffed animal bunny he's not supposed to have, but he got it from his maker. And he's reading a book, and I like this for mindless because he's supposed to be a mindless machine, but he's learning, so I like that. Okay, this next one is for Caden. He is an inventor. I've made a comic of him, I'll put it up right now, called Far Away. I'll also link to it if you'd like to actually like read it and look at it. That was the first kind of time I had made Caden or put him in anything. Him, he, they pronouns, I think. But this is them. The whole comic is kind of about like they get this orb and they make this sacrifice to like fly out into the middle of space, where he knows the aliens are like gonna get him because he has this orb, but he would rather make that sacrifice than have the aliens attack everyone on Earth. And this is for the third prompt, bait, and it's him holding the orb, which is the bait, if you will. This one I really enjoy. This one I did with blue ink, and it is for freeze. It's just like a cool ice castle. Who doesn't like an ice castle? It's fun. Watered down the ink for some parts of it to give lighter colors. Made it look like it's snowing. This is another one of my boy Lenny. This is him in the factory. His primary role in the factory is, I don't really know what he's doing, but he like is moving boxes a lot. And this is a typical day in the factory where he's just, the shipments are coming in and he's working with the boxes. And that was for the fifth prompt, build. Okay, now use your imagination for this one. This is for 6, it's husky. The way I interpreted it, it's like, you know how a corn husk is like, am I gonna say this? You know how a corn husk is like the shell of the corn? It's like, it's kind of, you know, the matter that was like protecting the corn, but the corn itself isn't, like with dried husk and stuff, the corn isn't there anymore, but the husk still is. And so I took that idea of sort of going into this barren place where there's like hints and like the shell of a former thing, but you're left with just the husk. It's husky. So, or you can just say, I didn't feel like doing this one. So this one is of my character, Silas. He is not a ghost. He's not a demon. There will be something of him later that'll show you just how much of not a ghost he is. But he's certainly not a human, and he's certainly not alive. And he's a really sad boy, and for a really long time, I didn't know why he was sad. I'm talking like months and months. Like one time I accidentally kind of drew him, and I was like, I started like crying. I'm like, why are you so sad? And he was kind of like abandoned by his family. I still don't know how he died. Doesn't really matter, but he was really, really close with his little brother. And then after he died, when he figured out he was like back as like whatever this is, he was like, oh, I'm gonna go say hi to my brother. And then when he did, his brother screamed and was like frightened and crying and ran off. And so he thought he's a monster. And so he just kind of quietly observes things and, like, you know, lives his day to day. He's a sad boy. But this is him going and exploring his grandma's house, which is completely like abandoned. It's been hundreds of years, I think, dozens of years at the very least, and he doesn't really know because he's kind of lost sense of time. He's looking at this really old, like, jewelry box with like the little ballerina in it, and it's like the shell of like a home of an establishment. The next one is Enchanted. I like how this one turned out. I think I'd like to do a more kind of developed version of this at some point. But it's a little unicorn kind of like meeting an enchantress in like a forest in like these old ruins, and there's a bird drinking from water. And I liked that. So this one is Frail. This is actually the first Inktober I did, even though it's the 8th prompt. For this one, it's really simple, but I just did like a clothesline, a broken down clothesline, and like, you know, some ruins and hills and stuff. It kind of looks like my hometown. Well, this one I don't like very much. This is for Swing. It's like a forest, and there's the Loch Ness Monster in the background. Then there's Pattern. There's also not much to say about this one. It's just circles. This one is another one of my boy Silas. This is Snow. It's snowing. He's in an old abandoned bus stop. And he's waiting for the bus to come. The bus is never gonna come. But he doesn't know that. He found a bus stop, so he thought, okay, I'll go somewhere. There's no bus coming, and he has, you can't really see because it's very dark, but he has a little scarf on, and he has a little cup of coffee. I love Silas so much. Oh, I love him. Okay, this one is, this one's kind of sad, too. I'm sad. Can you tell? Probably. I hope you can. I'm very sad all the time. This one is for Dragon. It's a little dragon creature that I hadn't really ever distinctly made before. He has aspects of like several dragons that I've designed in the past. But he's looking up the snout at a little tree frog. But my female Jackson's chameleon passed away at the age of 2. She had a really rough start, so, you know, she endured a lot, and I'm just so glad I got to know her and have her, but I miss her dearly. But when she would like hunch up on her little vine, my mom and I would call her a fat little tree frog, because chameleons kind of like, when she'd go to sleep, she'd get all like kind of like puffy and like put on her PJs, and then she'd look like a little tree frog. And so I made this on the 31st of October after she had passed away, and it's of this like dragon who's like a forest guardian encountering her for the first time in the forest, and that's sort of like an idea of like her being safe and like protected. This one is for Ash. It's my griffin character, not a phoenix, he's a griffin, but I wanted to put for Ash anyway. His name's Venturion, and he's like rising up from that. He still is like rising up from like a fire or something. I don't know what. Boy, what you getting into? Okay, so now 14, we're almost halfway through, is Overgrown. It's an overgrown gravestone. I don't really like how this one turned out very much. This is one of the few ones I actually did use 2 colors. I did use blue and black originally. I was trying to use just blue, but I couldn't get the right amount of contrast with that. I don't love how it turned out, but I think the black helped salvage it, because before that I really hated it. Number 15 is Legend. It's this old home on this stand in this ancient library with a small mouse in the background. And this is of a video game kind of story concept that I have for something called the Elders of the Forest, and this is the legend of the Elders of the Forest. Wild. I really like this one a lot. This one means a lot to me. This is kind of like a forest, she's like a fawn, the spirit guardian kind of caretaker. It's a common theme. And she is christening this new baby that is a hybrid of, I believe, the first hybrid of a unicorn and a deer. And off to the side, the little baby's parents, the mama unicorn and the papa deer, are watching proudly. And there's pretty fireflies, and it's just a very tender moment, and it is inspired by my family and stuff. 17 is Ornament. This is just a bunch of Mothmen having Christmas. Do I need to explain anymore? I don't think so. Alright, here is, I told you Silas is coming back. This is Silas at a bus stop. This is for the prompt Misfit. And he's trying to get onto the ghost subway train thingy. And he's in line with all the other ghosts, and they're on their ghost business. Going to work, have a briefcase, have a hat, have a bow tie, I have a kid in a backpack. Looking at the tickets. And Silas doesn't have a ticket. He just has a yellow flower, his favorite kind of flower. And wonder if he's gonna get on the train. I don't know if they're gonna let him or not, but that's kind of just illustrating how he's not a ghost, and he's a misfit even within, a group that I normally think of as the misfits. Here's Sling. This is my character Milo. They are a spelunker, adventurer kind of person. Super cool. And they have a little rucksack that they slung over their shoulder, and I like that. So this one is Tread. 10 points if you can see it. I did this one in white, and I couldn't be bothered to fix it later. I couldn't really figure out how to either. But it's a picture of a unicorn overlooking a cliffside. I'll see if there's a way I can fix it in post to make it look so you can at least kind of see it. This is Treasure. This is the map from one of my favorite movies of all time, Treasure Planet. 22. This was, I think, the second one I ever did. This is Ghost. And this one is one of my absolute favorites. It's a ghost family. A gay ghost family. So there are two ghost dads. They have a bunch of ghost kids. One of the dads is doing the dishes. The other one just woke up and he has a little nightcap on. They have a ghost cat, and they have portraits on the walls, and they're all eating breakfast, and they have chairs and foot mats, but they're all hovering above them, and I really like that. I love this ghost family. I love my two ghost dads. What can I say? I want to be a ghost dad. This is Ancient. This one, I still really like this concept, but I don't like how the final design actually turned out. But this is a creature I have called a Gravekeeper. And this is sort of its little home base, which I've never sort of explored before. But Gravekeepers are these kind of people see them as kind of ugly mutts or vultures or something. And they're these quiet little fluffy gray creatures that go and their job is to make sure that no one is like forgotten. And so they visit the graves that have, the gravestones have completely crumbled away. No one remembers them. And they go and like tend to the grave and let the, spirit there know that like they have someone who like cares about them. And they really mean a lot to me. I love my gravekeepers. They're so precious. And you can't really see it, but he's like growing different kinds of flora, and that's because they go and they'll lay the person's favorite like flower or plant or like thing at the base of their grave. This one is Dizzy. This is another one where I like the concept, but just like through some logistic things, I don't love how it turned out. But this is like a dinosaur walking through the forest, maybe in the same realm as Elders of the Forest. It is. It is. And like look in the trees and see something that is called a snorkelplast, which is something that like manifests from like repressed memories and stuff, and like destruction. But it's like the dinosaur sees like the face in the trees, and it's like this like moving wild, and it's like dizzying. This one is Tasty. This one's really simple again, but I like it. It's a raccoon. He's about to eat a cookie he found, and then he looks up and he sees a moth in the tree, and he wants to eat the moth. And the moth's looking down, and the moth wants to eat the cookie. The raccoon's like, I want to eat both. So I don't know what happens. I like the composition of this one. This is dark. It's like these two like stickman figures, rowing in like some like weird like dungeony like waterways and stuff. They have like the lantern, and I just really like how that one turned out. This is 27 Coat. This one is, I don't love how it turned out. I, again, like the concept. Maybe I'll redo it at some point, but it's of someone coming home after a long day and just not even closing the door yet, just like taking off their coat, hanging it up, and like going to hug their partner. So I like that. 28 is Ride. My boy Venturion is back in the saddle. And this is someone riding Venturion. Don't really know who. I don't know who lives in the same universe as Venturion exactly. Maybe I'll find out. This one is Injured. This concept isn't very like fleshed out because by this point I was kind of running out of time. I actually did this one November 2nd, so yeah. But it's of this like injured dragon like sulking away and hiding in a cave, and then this adventurer going up and like trying to help heal him. This is for Catch. I really like how Catch turned out. I just really like kind of the movement of it and like the emotion of it, and I don't really know how to explain it other than this is just what I felt like on the inside, and so I made it, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. It's not exactly how I thought it would turn out, but I'm really happy with how that ended up. And then our last one, 31st, is Ripe, and this one, I was like, I was gonna do something fancy, and then I was like, I'm just gonna do an illustration of an apple. So I did. It's just an apple. It's that simple, kids. It's an apple. Yeah. And then earlier today, I was working on two things. I was working on a comic of Boy Plenty, and I'm really pleased with how it's coming along. And then I also did this one of a dinosaur. And I just wanted to kind of show these because, like, I feel like I've just grown a lot over Inktober, and I'm really proud of the things I made. You know, individually, there are some that I definitely don't like, but like as a whole, it's something that's very special, and I just wanted to make a little video to kind of commemorate that. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I don't really have a ton of other videos, but I do have some if you want to check them out.